Well, you spoke to us an hour ago and things were calm. They have turned very, very quickly. A very violent series of confrontations here on the just outside the Al-Aqsa compound area, the area of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Let's move down here and we can show you the situation here. The Israeli police are arresting people as they try to clear an area where the Palestinians were praying for their morning prayer at the end of the daily Ramadan fast. We've seen stun grenades being thrown, we've seen tear gas being fired, and I could just see the water cannon just through there as you look out towards the Mount of Olives there from the Lion's Gate here in the Old City. The water cannon getting prepared. That's a water cannon which fires what's known as skunk, which is a rancid liquid that takes days to yeah, we'll just move over here. It takes days to get off your skin and your clothes. Today is Jerusalem Day. It's what Israelis believe is the day that their city was unified, remembering the day their city was unified back in 1967. Clashes were always to be expected. Clashes were always to be expected on today. The confluence of events means that it is extremely tense, with the worst clashes that we've seen for quite a few years in Jerusalem.
It seems, Mark, that this is a situation that could escalate.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Stephen. We were talking to one man, a Palestinian, who was in the Al-Aqsa Mosque a little bit earlier on. He says that the Israeli soldiers were there and that they provoked this, that they started attacking the protesters. Now, I can't tell you if that's right because we're not allowed into the compound area itself. What I do know is that through the course of the night, Palestinians had stockpiled rocks in the compound area because they expected that Jewish nationalists would try, around there's someone injured just coming out, that Jewish nationalists would try and access the Al-Aqsa Mosque area, which for Jews is known as Temple Mount, the holiest area for Judaism. So it's a very, very tense situation all round. I can also say that last night when we were at the Damascus Gate area... Okay, we'll move back. Okay, toda. When we were at the Damascus Gate area yesterday, there I can tell you that the police aggression was unprovoked. The Palestinians who were gathering for the end of their fast yesterday at the Damascus Gate were simply sitting quietly when the police arrived with mounted police and with the water cannon and began firing into the Damascus Gate area. That, I can tell you as an eyewitness, was unprovoked. The response was plastic water bottles thrown by some of the young Palestinians. So yeah, a very, very tense day. The British government, clearly with a complicated history here in this region, has released a statement. James Cleverly, the Foreign Office Minister, said this morning that both sides need to calm, to de-escalate, and so that Ramadan can come to an end peacefully. There are people, Stephen, talking about the prospect of a third intifada, a third Palestinian uprising. Of course, the first two were over a decade ago. Horrendous bloodshed back then. Since then, Jerusalem, Israel, Palestine has been in somewhat of a stalemate that I think has allowed the world to kind of forget the problems that are going on here. But I think that stalemate obscures a tension that never went away, and sparks like this really reignite it. I don't think we're at a stage yet where we could talk about the prospects of a third intifada, although some believe we are. But I think we're close. A very difficult situation. The politics is extremely complicated. An entirely dysfunctional Israeli government with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister for well over a decade now, trying desperately to hang on to power. And in doing so, he is trying to attract far-right Israelis, giving the far-right Israeli street, if you like, a certain legitimacy to push their settlement agenda into the West Bank. And for the Palestinians, well, they haven't had any elections since 2005 in the West Bank. Again, a politics that is, corrupt and letting the people down all the time. So we'll monitor the day, but it's just gone 9 a.m. and already I've seen scores of people injured.